Thank you, brother. Today we're just gonna be. I'm gonna shout out the people that have called in over the last couple of weeks.
Yes.
Based on the promotion that we've doing with the 2 months free.
Yes.
Got 3 or 4 of those. Then I have a. You can't make this stuff up with an edible range. One of my friends in Spot got broke into, and they was in the place.
Oh.
Yeah. So you can make that traumatized.
You can't make that up for real. Yeah. What's up, y'all? Where my Clorox at?
Right here. I already wiped everything down too. So.
Yeah, we got to wipe you down. Wipe you down.
It was bad. I don't even know.
Yeah, Adam with his false COVID test.
I've never been sick like that.
I think I told. Did I tell you? I said I don't think Adam got COVID. He just he coming in.
I didn't feel like it at all.
I immediately went.
I took the lab one
because I started throwing up and stuff.
I took the lab one that Tammy said, and then the lab said obviously I didn't have it, so I felt good coming around family.
Yeah, when I saw you on Thanksgiving with people, I said, "Oh, he's bogus."
Why would I spend $30?
Turn it this way so I can see it. Those are some great pictures you did yesterday.
Oh no,
man,
the babies are so cute.
Editing was superb. Oh, don't you cry, baby. We got Maddox back, y'all.
He here?
Yeah, he over here in the stroller. No. You stay back.
Stay away. Stay away.
No.
Okay, bring us in. Well, wait till Stacey come back. Okay. I'll let him. Lordy. Yeah, Justice, always send me everything you got. Because you know what? Now that
I've been sending you stuff
create,
too.
I know. So the more content I have, the better it is. So the out the window video I wanted to use for a word video this morning. But I found one that I hadn't used. Okay. My engagement been going up.
Stanley Lane said
last name again?
Chauncey.
All right. Adam and Justice got the spelling bee award.
Stanley Lane says, "Stay away from my baby, Zoe."
Yes.
Listen, I'm gonna stay away because Lord, I didn't even know he was here. Is he okay though?
We got a doctor's appointment after this, so it's up the street. It just makes sense to come back to the radio.
Yeah.
Stacey, you ready? Yes, sir. All right, we waiting on you.
Oh, y'all waiting on me?
Yeah, I didn't want to come in without you, brother.
My man. It's truly unbelievable how I've never had babies look into the camera, and I say this every time. Literally every single time I take pictures of these babies, I say it.
Yeah.
I can't say it enough. They look in the camera.
He wide awake.
Time.
Big man.
It don't make sense how they look in the camera every time.
Adam feels great, Daniel. Ain't nothing wrong with him. My grandma taught me before she passed away, a lie ain't nothing for
I printed out the music.
N-word to tell.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Thank you.
Okay, bring us in, Zozo.
Okay.
What's this song?
Now behold the Lamb.
I almost said silver and gold. Now behold the Lamb of God, who is truly the reason for the season. It is finally the Christmas season, and I don't know about you, but I am excited about the Christmas season this year. For many years, I haven't been, but you know what? We're going to talk about that. It's your main man, Action Jackson, and you tuned into the Brunch Bunch right here on Inspiration 1390. Unfortunately, Tamara Fair is not on the air, but she is feeling better because she was going off via text messages this morning. Popping off, so I said, she is back. But you know what? We are missing her. But filling in for her, he's with us each and every week, but he is our guest co-host today, and that's none other than our security expert.
Hey. Good afternoon to the believers. Good afternoon, Tamara. Feel better. We need you back.
Now tell them your name so they know who you are.
Stacey Chauncey, Film and Automation, absolutely.
Yes, Stacey, we're glad to be here. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was excellent. You know, I did, ate a little bit of everything. I actually didn't do the 2 meals that day. People eating 2 and 3 times. I just ate one time. kept it down. And
surprisingly, you know what? I only ate half a plate that day. I don't think I was so excited for the holiday. I only picked a little off the plate, so that's what made me a little bit mad. If you didn't hear Monday, I talked about how Valencia threw away my leftovers because I really didn't get to eat. But you know what? I'm excited about Christmas for the first time in many years.
Absolutely.
And I believe it's because I have kids now, and that makes the Christmas season just a little bit better.
And at this point in time, I mean, listen, it's really about spending a lot of money on that Cyber Monday.
Heck no. Or Black Friday. Or you know what? We went out of town to Danville, Illinois. If you've never been to Danville, I don't blame you. It's a small town. And we went to celebrate a 53rd birthday of one of my closest friends, her mom. And when we were on the way to Danville, because you all know I drive an electric car, a 2.5 hour car road trip took 4.5 hours because we had to stop and charge the car.
Wow.
And so while we were charging the car, the charger stations are all at stores. So we went to Myers and we were walking around waiting on it to charge. And we picked up a few toys that were on sale. And then the next stop, we picked up a few. So that was all I did.
Okay.
If it was up to me, I wouldn't have been in no stores because
Right.
my kids are too young to understand anything. I just want to make the house look nice.
Absolutely.
And do some Christmas stuff. But we kicked off the Christmas season this weekend watching Home Alone.
Oh, wow.
We watched Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2. And I think that's the best way to start the Christmas holiday is with Home Alone. So I think I'm going to take the kids and Adam out to the Home Alone house so we can get a photo shoot done in front of the McAllister house. Because it's not too far from here. It's about 15 miles.
Really?
The original Home Alone house.
Money talk.
Oh, listen, I taught you well, young Jedi. But listen, you know what else talks? We talking. We're gonna keep talking on this hour. Stacey has some great promotions and things to talk about. We got some great hot topics, and it's always our aim to send you back better than you came, right here on Inspiration 1390. I never wanted to visit it until this year. Now I'm gonna go. So we got this Christmas.
Oh no, that's already played.
I'm so sick of Zoe and eat Christmas stuff.
Oh well.
No, and this Erica Campbell, but I guess I like feel all right. Now how his phone gonna sit up there folded? I'm talking about on there.
His phone do fold. Oh.
I use this one sometimes.
Oh, okay. I'm like, how you go?
So
say my business, man.
how are you able to see the comments from the
through Facebook?
Oh, that's right. So I'll go on Facebook. I'll do this.
What's up, Tina Hammond? DJ B-Lo, we need to talk to you. You going in the principal's office.
Yeah, absolutely. B-Lo, that's kind of on us, though.
844-733-44.
You got lotion?
That's
Nope.
866-447-3344.
She said, how's your dad?
Call today and make a wise choice to secure your tomorrow. Secure home and automation.
Tina said, hey,
You heard the
Stacey.
name. Now
Tina.
experience the promise of ultimate safety that they bring to your home. Call Stacey Chauncey at
No, I read a story this morning.
3344. Stacey Chauncey, 866-447-3344.
Well, of course, this is not Tamara Fair. And you know what? I read a story. It's an old story, but it's been coming back up. And it made me want to kind of talk about it. So do you all remember the Detroit area doctor who authorities say gave cancer treatment drugs to patients who did not even need them, including some who didn't even have cancer? He was sentenced, of course, to 45 years. Dr. Fareed Fatah, 50 years old, pleaded guilty in September of 2015 to giving cancer treatments to misdiagnosed patients, telling some that they had a terminal blood cancer called multiple myeloma. He pleaded guilty to 13 counts of Medicare fraud, 1 count of conspiracy to pay or receive kickbacks, and 2 counts of money laundering. Now, federal prosecutors call him the most egregious fraudster in the history of this country. To Dr. Fatah, they said patients were not people, they were profit centers. Fatah forfeited $17.6 million that he collected from Medicare and private insurance companies. Some 553 patients received medically unnecessary infusions or injections, prosecutors said. The hematologist oncologist gave an emotional apology in court, saying he was ashamed of his actions. And I quote, I have violated the Hippocratic Oath and violated the trust of my patients, Fatah said, according to CNN affiliate WDIV. And continue, quote, I do not know how I can heal the wound. I do not know how to express the sorrow and the shame. But to the dozens of Fatah's victims who filed into U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Michigan throughout the week to watch his sentencing, his apology doesn't matter. Many will live with the effects of his, at times, unnecessary treatments for the rest of their lives. As Geraldine Parkin, the wife of one former patient, said in court, many were tortured until their last breath. What made it came up on, shout out to Riza Islam X is his name on Instagram.
Okay.
He posted it this morning, and it begins to ask the question: when do we stop giving blind faith to medical professionals? Because one video testimony said that she had one treatment of chemo but went to get a second opinion. The second opinion saved her life because then the doctor said, you're in good health, nothing's wrong with you. But for those 553 other people, they trusted their doctor, they believed him, and they just went on with chemo treatment that they didn't even need. So when do we just quit blindly trusting the healthcare system?
Well, I have to chime in and just simply say that you kind of said it. I mean, that second opinion. You know, when you start talking about something major and potentially catastrophic to your life, you need to get a second and third opinion.
Yep.
And not just that first opinion. So quick story, that my mother had some ailments, and she was taking the medication for about four years.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she switched doctors, the doctor found out she should have never been taking that medication. And she took it so long that they couldn't even take off the medication at all.
Wow.
Had they taken off the medication, she would end up losing her life. She still takes the medication today. How egregious is that? So again, you know, in our communities, a lot of times we go to the doctor, and the doctor, whatever he tells us is law. We actually listen to everything they say, instead of getting a second and third opinion. So that's my thought on that.
And that's why I wanted to bring that up, because I know we have a large senior audience and we have a faithful audience. And, you know, believing God is the first thing. Absolutely. But the Bible teaches us faith without works is dead. So we have to work our faith. And I believe that this is something that we need to be educating people on. I know a young lady who's been dealing with health challenges, and the doctors were telling her this and telling her that, and you got to abort your baby, or you know, to get your treatment you need, which none of that became true. Wow. Then they were trying to prescribe medicines. And they're like, well, if you want to take it. And she wouldn't take it one day. Then she wouldn't take it the next day. Then she wouldn't take the third day. Then the doctor's like, you know what? I highly suggest you take this. You need to take it. And she was like, well, is this something I'm gonna have to take for the rest of my life? And they're like, well, yeah. You know, we want to put you on this blood medicine to make sure you don't get blood clot. But at first they said, well, if you move around, you won't be at risk. But if you're just laying in the hospital bed or at home, you're at risk. But then it's like, well, I'm moving. I don't need the medicine. But no, take the medicine. Take the medicine. And unfortunately, America is a capitalistic country built on greed. And so a lot of these doctors are in it for the money. This doctor made over $50-something million in kickbacks and bonuses from healthcare companies, from pharmaceutical companies, because he was pushing that drug. Now, I see on Facebook, Cherie said, my mom believes everything the doctor says, and I hate it. And you know what? I hate that too, because we have blind faith in doctors. I know people that believe in the doctor more than they believe in God.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's like, we got to get past that and get second opinions, because like your mom, Stacey, taking medicine that she didn't even need and now has to take it for the rest of her life.
And you said I used to be a pharmaceutical sales rep. Right? I sold OBGYN doctors and, you know, all that Depo-Provera and all that kind of stuff, infertility drugs, I'm sorry. And it's so much money made when it comes to those medications.
Oh, yeah.
So pharmaceutical companies actually create relationships with the doctors and are paying them major bonuses, traveling and everything else if they're prescribing
paying them to be a part of that speaker series.
Absolutely.
I know it's a huge industry, and when it's done right, I think anybody in that industry can make money, but we got to quit putting profits over people.
Can't do it.
And so believers, if you've been recently diagnosed with something serious, if you feeling great, but you on these medicines and you really don't understand why, get a second opinion.
Absolutely.
And like Cherie said, and if your child, if your daughter or son are asking you to get a second opinion, they're not getting anything out of you getting a second opinion except you living a longer life, a more fruitful life. Because unfortunately, we trust doctors more than we trust the earth that God created. Because there's so many natural remedies that can help cure some of the things that we're dealing with, but we won't trust that. You know, I know somebody who told me, I said, well, you know, I met with this holistic doctor and I brought him and they said, well, I got to ask my doctor, can I eat these vegetables? And it's like, but this come from the earth. You know, I don't get it, but I understand. That's how we've been programmed. Trust the doctors. And we, you know, we just blindly trust them. But when we hear stories like this, I hope it opens your eyes. Don't forget, because Dr. Fatah was caught. That don't mean other doctors are not out here doing it. There's so many of them doing it. Tina said, doctors will tell you to lose weight and give you a prescription. If I'm giving medicine and it makes me feel a certain way, I stop taking it. Well, watch this. Doctors were upset with the Wegovy shots. When people, so Ozempic and Wegovy are shots that were created for diabetic patients, but it's been used for weight loss. And they saw that it was really helping with weight loss. So people who were taking the medicine, they were illegally getting it from doctors because the doctors saw, well, not illegally, the doctors were prescribing it, but it wasn't for diabetes. It was for them to lose weight. And it was all over the news. Don't you take it? Don't you take it? Don't you take it? Until now they got approved and they can sell it just for weight loss. Now it's, oh, this really works. So Ozempic, and get your shot. And I see Oprah got a special about it too going on, you know.
You know, I would love to see what the side effects are. So it's crazy when you see those infomercials, those commercials, and the side effects cause, you know, kidney failure.
Now I'd be like, you're gonna lose weight and live long, but the side effects are kidney failure. You're gonna die. You won't be able to see. You're gonna have brutal diarrhea. It's gonna be all kind of stuff.
Like, wow, I don't want that. And it's in the small print. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that's why you got to be very careful. Like, you know what? Trust the source.
Yes.
And the source, of course, is God. Trust God. Have enough faith to ask your doctor, why am I taking this medication? How long am I going to be on this medication? Because medication is supposed to cure, right? But we see the medication are just they're not curing it. It's just putting it at ease for a while.
And is it an alternative? There's something else I can do other than taking the medication. You know,
right.
I've known people, I mean, unfortunately, diabetes kind of runs in my family a little bit where, individuals have changed eating habits,
Yep.
exercise more, and been able to come off of the pill or cut back on some of the insulin.
Yep, and that's it. Sometimes, so that's why you got to ask those questions, because they'll just give you a diabetic shot and tell you to keep taking this. Because of course now that company they buying it from is getting paid.
Absolutely.
They probably got a bonus for helping. I asked a doctor on Thanksgiving. We got a couple of doctors in my family, thank God. You know, one of my cousins who is a doctor, I was explaining to him about some medical stuff, and I said, and this one doctor just kept pushing Valencia and I to abort the baby. You know, he said, what? I said, I had to ask, do you get a bonus for abortions around here or something? You know, it's kind of crazy. But thank God Maddox is sitting here, 3 months old, healthy, thriving. But it's like, what about the people who are not educated? That's what I told them.
Mm-hmm.
I said, the issue is all of our community don't have the wherewithal to ask the questions, to get the second opinion. And that's what we got to come to advocate for them. And to make sure, because how many babies have been aborted because the doctor advised you to do it because it will help you when it didn't really help? How many lives have been lost because they've been taking medicine that they shouldn't have been taking? How many people will be on medicine for the rest of their life because of misdiagnosis?
That's the real drug dealers.
So, yeah, those are the people that we got to pay attention to. Adam said those are the real drug dealers that came from a white man, not me. Don't you come and get me.
Those are the real drug dealers.
But Tina said, make sure it's Oprah Winfrey. No, I saw it on Oprah page today because I went down a rabbit hole. The Color Purple was getting to come out. And I saw somebody share Oprah video she put up. I clicked on her page and I started going through her page. So it was definitely Oprah. But we're just going to continue to pray for you all that are going through. But make sure you're getting second opinion. And don't think because you got Medicare, Medicaid, or you don't have the best health insurance that you cannot get a second opinion. Yes, you can. Your doctor that you were prescribed to is not the only doctor that you can see. They just suggest the doctor, but you can definitely change it. Tomorrow, we got a guest that's going to be talking about Medicare options and how to make sure you're choosing the right Medicare plans, because every health insurance company is not equal.
And just to piggyback on that, you want to let your children know what the doctor's prescribing to you. If you're really not great at advocating for yourself, allow your children to step in and ask some questions that you may not be thinking about.
That's true. That's true. Take your kids to the doctor with you.
Yeah.
Take them with you, Write your questions out before you go. When you get that diagnosis of something new, you go and start researching yourself. Don't go down that rabbit hole of Google where you only got 2 days to live because Google told you. But if you need Google-lations, if you need help formulating those questions, then definitely look for the answer and write down questions to ask the doctor when you go see him. But you know what? I'm praying that you all have the mind to get a second opinion. I'm praying for all of you that are listening who are dealing with some afflictions in your body, that God continues to touch and heal your body. And I'm praying, like Erica Campbell said, that you feel all right. Is Erica Campbell feel all right here on the Brunch Bunch? Thank you, Cherie. Cherie, you see Valencia and the baby? Uh-oh. You can put it on, man.
Medical experience. I had a tumor.
Oh, wow.
Freshman year of college, a brain tumor. And for a while, I just had headaches. Didn't know what it was. I got to different doctors. How long did you go without going to a doctor? Without going to a doctor? Yeah, not long at all. Oh, you just started having headaches? It started when I was at home during winter break. Dang. So while I was home, my mom was like, well, you can just go see family doctor. That's a perfect time. And it was months. It was months. Started in December, and I didn't get surgery or anything like that until like May. Wow. So I was just walking around with a tumor in my head. I was given muscle relaxers by the school health specialist. They gave me muscle relaxers for a tumor. Yeah, they didn't know because no one had ever given me a scan. They had kept saying, okay, if you come back next week, we're going to send you in for an MRI. And just never happened. Nope.
They gave you a muscle relaxer to fill up.
Nope.
Wow.
So
John said,
they're profiting off that prescription they gave you.
John said, I asked my doctor for a second opinion. He said I was ugly too. Laugh out loud. Man, the fight almost broke out. Well, you know, I know a doctor when was asked for a second opinion.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. I heard him talking. I actually wanted to tell my story, if I could, about an error, a medical error.
Okay. Okay. You're calling in as a caller.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on one moment.
Okay.
I thought that was
Oh, was that the one that popped up, Zoe?
Yeah, I thought
that wasn't his caller.
I had a friend tell the doctor, well, I'm going to get second opinions, and I have an appointment next Thursday,
Right.
and this was a week in advance, and then her current doctor team just started moving appointments up and moving everything up before she can even get to the second opinion. Oh, we need to do this emergency. We need to do this. But it was like, wait a minute, where did this sense of urgency just come from? I'm like, you told him you were getting a second opinion. Hey, Sister Gloria, thank you y'all. They said we love y'all show. Huh?
What time is the guest calling in?
12:45.
What guest?
His.
Oh, I'm about to say, don't you get no guests on Stacey time. Y'all for the show out. We just had a meeting about this. I'm like, what guest? No, okay, as long as it's your guest. Well, let's take this caller briefly, and then we'll go right into you. Round the clock peace of mind sounds good to me.
You want to do Stacey's intro?
If you change your eating habits?
What'd you say?
You want to do Stacey's intro then?
Let's do Stacey intro. We'll take this call up a little bit. Then we'll go all into health safety into life safety.
But he had diabetes, got off diabetes.
Wait, back to you real quick. Praise God that you don't have that tumor anymore.
Yeah, we just glazed over that. Like it was nothing.
No, we did. I mean,
I had a brain tumor. All right, what's up?
No, that was just amazing.
That wasn't cancers or anything?
It was benign. But the fact is, it was in there for so long, it started putting pressure on my nerves.
Yeah.
Building up fluid. So it got to the point I couldn't
But with
eat,
the wherewithal for your
sleep.
mom to even just say, like, go see a doctor because of a headache, because my mom would be like, just take a Advil, whatever.
Your mama Riley would have helped you,
My
man.
mom would not say go to the doctor for a headache.
Listen.
If you constantly complained about it, possibly, you know.
Yeah,
if it was a
that's
one-time
One
thing.
time, right.
That's what it was.
I got a
It wasn't
screw in my hip thanks to my mother. I had been limping, and everybody thought it was in high school. I act like an old man. They just assumed I wanted to walk like one, too. But I had dislocated.
They tell her, have you been to the bathroom yet? Everything is tied to go to the bathroom.
Or drinking ginger ale.
That was crazy. I didn't get an MRI until I took myself to the emergency room.
That's
I
wild.
called 911 in my dorm and got in the ambulance.
Wow.
20 seconds.
How long?
20.
How long?
Now you got 15 seconds.
Next time I say how long, say not long.
Going on the end now.
4814. Elevate your home with Pinnacle Construction and Remodeling, your partners in building perfection. It's time for the Chauncey Code.
It's time to the baby of this elevator.
Yeah.
Stacey Chauncey, let's go. Good afternoon. Stacey Chauncey is here. Let's elevate, folks. Let's elevate. We have a call on the line.
Well, you know what? We've been talking about health safety. And of course, you come each and every week to talk about life safety,
Absolutely.
right? And so it ties in. We got a caller who called in and said she wanted to share her error testimony. And we got a couple of minutes. Caller. Well, before we get to the caller, Adam didn't set up the caller. You know what? But that's what makes live radio so great. Caller, what is your name? Susan. Miss Susan, listen, if you could share briefly your story, we are interested in hearing it.
I'm trying to be super fast. I got a really ugly headache. It was a Labor Day. Whole entire side of my head was hurting. I decided to go to the ER. They simply gave me some kind of aspirin. I forgot what it was, but they kept testing me. So eventually the final test they wanted to give me was a nuclear test. Because whatever they thought they saw heart-wise, they wanted to double-check and make sure. After the test, they said, oh, you have a widowmaker. You're going to have to get a stent because you could drop dead at any moment. That's why it's called a widowmaker. You could drop dead at the drop of a hat because you're so clogged up.
Wow.
I didn't feel comfortable with that. I believe in second opinions, and it just didn't sit right with my gut. They tried to give me metformin, didn't feel comfortable with that because I didn't believe the whole diagnosis at all. So I got them to give me red yeast rice. I'm taking that. In the meantime, I ended up running into a magazine that told me all about these things about metformin and all the negative consequences of it. And I said, okay, that's confirmation that I shouldn't have been taking that. Fast forward 3 months, I was able to finally get a second opinion. When I got the second opinion, this is what this lady doctor told me, this cardiologist, the other cardiologist. She said, I knew when I first got you in here that you didn't have this at all. She said that she herself was actually certified in analyzing the test that told the other technician that I had this, this widowmaker, right, that I didn't really truly have. She gave me a physical stress test, and I said, Lord Jesus, I really hope that I'm right, because the way they're making me run on this treadmill, I'm about to drop dead the way they're pushing me.
Right.
So, I said everything was fine. She said everything was fine. I'm certified in this, and I knew immediately right off the bat that they misinterpreted the test. If your gut tells you this isn't right, you fight until you get some calm and peace in your gut that what is going on is true and valid. And if you're too scared to fight for yourself, just like you said, get your kids, get a friend, get somebody. But yes, they will send you down up the river if they could. There's a little bit more, but I know the time is limited. Thanks for letting me say this story.
No, Susan, we thank you for calling in.
Yeah, and one of the things I heard Susan say was she wanted to go get a second opinion. That discernment that comes over you when you feel it, you have to act on that. You have to follow with that.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Susan, I'm glad you trusted your gut.
Yes, and why would you take a chemo treatment and then get a second opinion? I'm happy she got a second opinion, but no, you do that first and foremost, even if they say emergency, 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 unless you're really half dying. You got to make absolutely certain what they're telling you is accurate.
Yeah. No, you're right, Susan. Thank you for calling in and sharing that story. We're praying for you. We're thanking God with you for allowing you to trust your gut. And keep listening to the Brunch Bunch on Inspiration 1390. Listen, that was a powerful testimony. And Susan, I don't know. Well, I said it off air. I knew somebody who asked for a second opinion. Well, told her doctor that she was going to get a second opinion and had an appointment at another hospital next week, and they sped everything up. They start calling, oh, it's an emergency. We need to do this. Oh, we need to have this emergency surgery. Let's get the whole team on the phone. Okay. And it was like, you know what? But at that time, it's like sometimes you kind of got to do what you got to do, because when you going through some life-threatening situations, you don't want any, mistakes. But get a second opinion. Trust your gut. Trust God. Because Susan's gut was the Holy Ghost saying, no, not so. Don't you let them do that to you. Because then you got to do more fixing than what you already had done. But speaking of fixing and safety and health safety, life safety, all of this happens. And one of the things that I learned about Stacey over the months that he's been with us, and we're glad to have him, Secure Home and Automation, is not just about home security. It's about life safety across the board, because you can be in a medical emergency and push the button on your security system to get some help. Somebody could be, coming in your house. You never know. It's all type of things.
I fall and I can't get up.
Yep.
Okay. And with a lot of people, a lot more seniors living by themselves nowadays, you need to make sure you have it. It's better to have it than not need it.
Than need it and not have it.
And so this week, I really want to give a shout out to some of the 1390 believers that actually took advantage of the promotion that we've been doing.
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Hall, I'm sure they're listening. Just a great family. They took advantage of it. And, she may or may not be calling in today, but just a phenomenal family. Mr. Hill, who's a military veteran, living by himself, had a couple of medical challenges going on, and he wanted to make sure he took advantage of it so his daughters would be able to have access to him. He don't want them to move in. He said they can't move in.
Right. Don't come home, but come check home.
Yeah. So want to give Mr. Hilliard a shout out. Mrs. Gale's children were listening to the show, and they called in. And Mrs. Gale has been a widow now for 3 years, and she does not want to live with any of her children. you know.
I ain't mad at you, Miss Gail.
And so they thought it would be great for her to at least have a system that would give them a level of comfortability to know that mom is okay, and she was okay with that. And she still don't want them to have a key. Miss Gail is something else, man.
Miss Gail said, you don't need no key, but you can check it. You know, you got access.
You don't need no key. So those are a few people. I'm going to shout out a few more people as we go. Definitely want listeners to know we want them to take advantage of what we're doing. We're doing the 2 months free right now, on top of giving them all the equipment at no out-of-pocket investment to them for the equipment or the installation. They won't get a bill until just about the new year.
Yeah. If you start now, what's that? December, January, end of January. You first bill may be due in February. That's amazing. But you said something, and for the seniors, you know, my grandmother was living in a senior bed before she passed away. But she was living alone. And I noticed that she was kind of forgetting a few things here and there. But she told me, I'm not crazy. You don't need no key. But I said, Granny, I'm gonna just put this camera system. I'm gonna have the camera system put up. Two-way. Well, you know, Stacey got the two-way camera system where you can talk to each other. And one day I was calling, and she wasn't answering. And I'm like, what is going on? Then I said, you know what? Let me check the camera. Because it's not like I'm just sitting watching Granny all day. And I want you all to know that. Just because you got a camera, don't mean people are sitting watching you all day. But it was a case where she wasn't answering. I looked at the camera, and guess what? My granny had failed. And she was stuck on the floor and couldn't get any. She couldn't get to her cell phone or the house phone. So she literally, like Adam just said, I've fallen and I can't get up. That's a true story. And unfortunately, thankfully, I had the camera to be able to say, Granny, this is Marcel. You okay? She said, I can't get up. I said, I see. I'm on my way to help you.
Absolutely. And it makes sense. I mean, again, you know, it sounds like it's a cliche, but it's better to have it than not have it.
I'm young and I don't go to the restaurant without my cell phone. And people always say, why do you got to say, well, listen, I may slip in the bathroom or something. You know, as a young man, you got to be worried about these things too.
Absolutely.
So we got a caller on the line. The phone lines are blowing up when you are here, Stacey. And I believe this caller is a testimonial.
Okay, who do we have on the line?
Caller, what's your name?
This is Terry Hall.
Miss Hall just gave her a shout out. Hey, Miss Hall, how are you?
I'm blessed, and yourself?
Good. Definitely let the listeners know what your experience was like.
Well, I called in to talk to you about the service, everything that you mentioned. You came out, you presented it, and we liked what we heard. We've been with one company. We've been with that company for over 28 years.
Wow.
And when we wanted to do upgrades and so forth, they would come out and they would tell you, well, it's going to be X amount of dollars, you know. And then if it was the battery or something like that, they wanted for the service call, they would come out and they want to charge you $50 or $150 just to replace a battery.
Wow.
Right. So when I heard what Mr. Chauncey had to say, we looked at the system and everything. We liked it. We decided to go with it. And anytime we had a call or question, they answered right there.
Wow. That's amazing.
Thank you. Tell the listener what happened when you called the company back. What happened when you called them back?
I called the company to let them know that we were interested in changing or canceling our service. And at that point, they said, well, we can upgrade you. We can lower your rate. We can do this. We can add on this X amount of dollars. But if we, upgrade you, then you're locked into a 3-year contract. And I thought about it, and I said, well, now you want to tell me about it, but you didn't say anything before now.
Right.
28 years.
So
28 years.
To say something.
You said you can lower my rate, but in that same day in the mail, we got a letter saying that you were increasing the rate, but I didn't let them know that.
Well, I thank God you listened to the Brunch Bunch and called Brother Chauncey, because after 28 years, as a loyal customer, as a business owner, any customer you got that long, you do whatever it takes to keep them.
You would think that. Here's the other important point that our listeners need to be aware of. They were willing to lower her monthly, but it would have still been the same equipment she had for 28 years.
Wow.
Correct.
And if they would have been willing to give her upgrade, it would have been a minimal upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
And anything over that, they would have been increasing her monthly monitoring, so on and so forth. So,
but now she called Brother Stacey Chauncey. She did like I hope the rest of the listeners are gonna do. She called 866-447-3344. Talk to Brother Stacey, and he came out, showed her brand new upgraded system with no out of pocket, and said, "Hey, you got 2 months of no bills right now. Just let's get you set up."
Absolutely. You know, last but not least, when I did a security analysis, the former company actually sold her equipment that she really didn't need, and she didn't need it the second go around. She just had extra equipment because what happens is when you upsell, you make more what?
Money.
Absolutely. So they will come out and upsell us on different things that we don't necessarily need. So it's very important for the listeners to know we come out, we just simply going to talk about what's important to you
and what you need.
And what you need.
Well, Ms. Hall, thank you so much for listening to the Brunch Bunch. Thank you for calling Secure Home and Automation, and thank you for this testimony today. Because you know, people, it may sound cliche, but it helps when we're sharing our testimonies about how things are working and how people are working. Because there's so many people out here. You know, we'll talk about them when they do wrong, but we don't talk about them when they do right. So shout out to Brother Stacey for doing right. Thank you for calling, Ms. Hall.
Thank you, Ms. Hall.
Yeah, well, listen, that believers, if you like Miss Hall and you got a system that's 5+ years, 10+ years, 28 years, no upgrades, no lowering of the bill, no loyalty points, no nothing. Call 866-447-3344. That's 866-447-3344. Let Stacey know you heard him on the Brunch Bunch. And get a free analysis. It doesn't cost anything to talk to Brother Stacey to just see if your system that you have can be upgraded, which I know it can because Stacey got the top of the line.
Absolutely. We have a question on Facebook here from Dejan Buick, I think it is. He asked about can they be notified if the Christmas lights malfunction and catch on fire? Well, we have the ability to add smoke detectors.
Yeah. Smart smoke detectors.
Smart smoke detectors that communicate with the monitoring station in the event that you have that type of situation that happens. In reference to the lights, I will add this though. If you're leaving the house, unplug the lights.
Yeah. But you know, when we outside, we want our house lit up.
I get it. You don't want to come back and it's completely lit up for real.
Yeah. Talk about you left and the house was lit up, but you came back and it was lit up. No, well, that makes sense because with the smart detectors, it will alert the fire department. Absolutely. Just like your carbon monoxide detectors will alert. Which is very useful.
And you have to speak to that. I mean, think about a lot of people use real Christmas trees.
Yeah.
And you know it doesn't take very much if they're not completely moist in the right type of way, they dry it out a little bit, they can potentially cause a fire.
Especially towards the end of the
Now, if I buy a Christmas tree and it got a squirrel in it, will your system let me know? No. The motion detector, like what's running around our house? Listen, if you just need to know if you got the right system, if you need to upgrade the system, or if Brother Stacey can give you a better rate on your security system, give you better products and services, all you have to do is call them at 866-447-3344. That's 866-447-3344. Call, talk to him. Everybody that I know that talk to you say he's friendly to talk to. I mean, I know you hear it through the radio, but he's very educated on the matter.
You know, thank you so much for that, Marcel. I want to give a shout out to another 1390 listener. I think it's Tonya, which is actually Tamir's business partner.
Tanya. Okay. You better get that name right. You know they listening. You know.
Tanya is a sweetheart. Let me tell you.
Oh, wait a minute. What time you? No, I'm joking.
Tanya, don't let me call y'all like that.
I'm about to get a text message in 3, 2.
And she's so cool. But let me tell you why she wanted the system, because she's gone a lot. She's traveling, moving around a lot. It's nothing like knowing that your castle is safe.
Oh, you just did that.
We just installed her last week. And man, that was a tough installation because she was constantly on the move. In town, out of town.
Oh yeah.
Well, you talk about Inglewood, Tanya. That's my girl. Well, shout out to Tanya. Well, you know what? I believe is a calling. Sharice says she's telling all her friends about Chauncey. Thank you, Sharice, for that on Facebook. Believers, it's the real deal, you know. And what better way to get started with security than the holiday season? Now, I think Cherie put this up on her Facebook page. We were talking about safety precautions during the holiday season. Don't put boxes out on the porch and all of that.
Right.
But Cherie said the best way to get rid of your empty boxes, I'll put them in Amazon boxes and sit them on the front porch. They'll get gone soon too. And your camera catch them getting gone. So
yeah,
that's why you need
but listen, after those boxes gone, maybe they want to come inside now. So,
oh, well, true.
So
interesting.
We don't even want to start.
Yeah, because if they come away
don't
with...
feed the animals. Don't feed them.
If they go away with some empty boxes, they may circle the block.
Absolutely.
But I thought that was so funny. Well, I'm glad you just said it because I was going to do that this year.
No.
With all our packages, I was going to put garbage in our Amazon boxes on the porch.
Look, they open up. They're going to be like, gotcha.
Well, no, you know what? It's very interesting. You got to be safe during this holiday season. We're doing a lot of traveling.
Yes.
And unfortunately, you all don't always listen to us when we say don't post that you're going out of town while you're going out of town. So I think having the security system will help give you that blanket, because if they come in, they see you on the cruise, you can't get home to get them out of there, but you got your cameras and your security system that can catch them to help the police get there very fast.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is call 866-447-3344.
Absolutely. And real quickly, this is a situation we want to support small business, no doubt about it. One of our clients, newly client, Edible Arrangement in Hyde Park. Give me some love, 1465.
What's the name of this segment? We got to do a drop for this. I can't believe it. What is it called? You said it. You can't make this up.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna do a drop for that. You can't make this up. So on this episode of You Can't Make This Up, let's go, Stacey.
Yeah. Good friends of mine at Edible Arrangement, 1465 East Hyde Park Boulevard, and what area is that? That's the Hyde Park area.
Yeah.
And so unfortunately on Monday they had a situation where an individual kicked in their door. And one of the employees happened to be there at 5:30 in the morning. She was in the back prepping some items, so on and so forth. And they ran in and grabbed the cash register, grabbed her purse. She was absolutely traumatized. She ran up out of there. Thank God that they did not mess with her. And it's just a traumatizing experience. We were able to come out that day, install a system for them. They had a system previously, but it had not been activated. And I've been blessed to put that system in from the previous owner. But when ownership changed hands, it had not been activated. And so we were able to get them squared away. But the challenge with that is that they're still traumatized by what happened. So when that happens...
Because if I was that employee, I probably wouldn't come back.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And no amount of security sometimes can fix that situation.
Nope.
But I'm saying that to say they're okay now, but we want the believers to go out and to support them. They will not be ran up out the city. At the end of the day, we need to support their business, their ministry in terms of what they're doing. It costs money to do business.
Yeah, definitely. And that's a good point for all you business owners out there. Just because you're on a commercial street or corridor, don't mean they're not kicking your door in or trying to smash and grab. And we've seen an uptick in smash and grabs here in the city, unfortunately. So make sure that you got the best security system. So Stacey isn't just securing your home, he's securing your businesses as well. That's amazing. That was you can't make this up because you don't think you're going to work early at 5:30 in the morning and somebody finna kick your door in.
Why are you in there?
Man, so Tiffany Haddish was in her car at 5:30 in the morning. We was wondering, Justice, why she was outside. Now the stick-up man at 5:30 is kicking doors in. Lord help us. Listen, I knew Tanya was gonna text me. I said 3, 2, 1. It took. She said, she gonna come up here and handle me.
Watch your back.
Tanya, I don't want no smoke. We love you, Tanya. Listen, Stacey, you are doing some amazing work securing each and one of our listeners. We appreciate all that you do. And thank you for being transparent and consistent, because those are two traits in business that most people do not have. They're not transparent in their pricing, what they're offering. You do that. And they're not consistent. You don't change and every week have a new system, a new price, a new something. We got We got a caller on the line. Stacey, let's see. You got 30 seconds, caller. What's your name?
Hi, Marcel. Doris Williams from Apostolic Church. I asked last month about the immigrant
Yeah.
and I was 85 that day.
Yes.
Well, what I wanted to say is, I don't know if I could say this company over the line. Can I?
We don't want to say no names. But you just tell us the story.
Well, I have a security system that I had since the war. Does this young man's company, will I be able to keep it? Or can he keep the equipment? Or can he change what I have that will work the same way or better?
Oh, that's a great question, Miss Doris. Miss Doris, right. I want you to did you write down Stacey's number?
Yes.
Okay, yes, I want you to call Stacey. He said call him. As soon as we're done with the show, he's going to take good care of you. Miss Doris, thank you for listening and calling. I talk about you all the time.
Right. I always, one day I have to see you. Or perhaps when you're off, you could come up to the church. I work Monday through Friday, and you could see me and say, and see how the old girl looks.
I'm going to stop by and see you, Miss Doris. Listen, we love you. Thank you for tuning in. We coming to see you soon. And Stacey said he is waiting on your call.
Thank you, dear.
Waiting on your call, Miss Doris.
Stay blessed.
You too.
Sounds so adorable.
Yes, he does. I'm going to see Miss Doris. We going over to Apostolic Church to visit Miss Doris. Listen, believers, we getting out of here. If you didn't already, take down the number. That's 866-447-3344. 866-447-3344. Get with Stacey. Get your security. We can take care of our health safety, but let's make sure our life is safe as well. Stacey, thank you for coming. Believers, we're out of time, but we're never out of content. We encourage you to keep love alive. Tell someone that you don't know that you love them. Believers, we love you. Tamara, in your absence, we love you. Inglewood, Tanya, you are so nice and we love you. Believers, we love you. Baby M&M and Maddox in the studio, we love you. Up next is AC Green. We're out.
He said no. He's talking about the breath.
He just laughing at Al.
Look. Oh, look. He said, Uncle Adam.
Yeah.
So cute.
Shake up. Yeah.
So alert, man.
It's ridiculous.
Someone showed a picture.
Oh yeah.
Do what?
I got so many good pictures of him.
Oh.
He was laughing.
I was wondering why you weren't over here paying attention to me.
Because I knew you wanted these pictures.
See you all tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed the show today. This was actually a really good show. And Miss Doris took the cake when she called in, didn't she, with that sweet voice of hers. So, Stacey, make sure you connect with her.
Absolutely.
And get her taken care of so we can have her call back in and testify about you. She was going to put her company on blast, too.
Can I say the name?
I'm like,
And Tanya said she got something for you, man.
I see, look, Tanya, Lord. Tamara talk about get them good. Okay, believers, we will see you tomorrow. It is Thursday. We're looking forward to a good time. It's almost the weekend.
Tomorrow's Thursday. Yep.
Oh, listen, the Wiz is here. We got to talk about it. On Broadway.
I thought you said Friday.
What?
Never mind.
No, the Wiz is open. Would you be quiet, Adam? The Wiz is open. If you haven't already, get your tickets to the Wiz. It's going to be great. I'll let you know tomorrow how it is. Valencia and I are going to opening night tonight to see the Wiz, and we're looking forward to it. So see you all tomorrow. Have a good one.